Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a twofer. I'm doing two pages for two different challenges on this a lovely Valentine's Day, February 14th. The first thing I'll show you is this sketch. This is weekly sketch number 151, and it worked out perfectly for my 3 photos of John, and you'll see why I'm using 3 photos of John. Well, it's Valentine's Day, and so I have to do a John page on Valentine's Day because he's my forever Valentine. I am also doing today's load prompt. Today is day 14 of load 2502 or 0225. I forget. I'm sorry, I've lost that. I'm doing this way ahead, and so I haven't seen the logo yet. Anyway, the theme for this February's load is Back to the Future. So all of the prompts are kind of based on something to do with Back to the Future. And my prompt for today is about an introduction or a grand entrance based on like when Doc drove his DeLorean up and opened the doors in a cloud of smoke, and if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And we're to use that's the story prompt to talk about that, and that's what I'll have on here. And then we're to use metallics in reference to Doc's DeLorean. So what I've done, my page is titled "You Had Me at Nassi Schneiderman." And for those of you who aren't into structured programming, and many of you know that I met John not just at work, but I met him when I interviewed him. So my introduction to John was his resume, and I was interviewing him to potentially hire him for to lead a huge project that I had coming up in my group. And I was looking for someone skilled in the particular programming language that he was sort of. When I asked the contracting companies to find me someone, I asked for the world's expert on this language, PL1, and on his resume he had that had experience with Nassi Schneiderman. And Nassi Schneiderman, back in those days, the 70s-ish, companies, generally medium-sized companies, had embraced structured programming, and this was a methodology for structured programming. And when he had programmed in PL1 at other companies, he had used this technology. And I was familiar with structured programming. I will admit that I had to ask him what Nassi Schneiderman was. And as he described it, I said, "Oh yeah, structured programming." And it wasn't there were principles you could pull out of it and use in your everyday regular programming without having to follow exactly the chart and the particular methodology. But part of my company's lack of experience with Nassi Schneiderman was that everything was written in a legacy language that didn't have the capability, that didn't lend itself. PL1 was developed with an intent to allow for structured programming. So enough about that. When he came in, he told me later that, number one, I pronounced his name correctly. I called him John Hello, Mr. McElfresh, as I reached out to shake his hand. And he said I was the first person that he'd interviewed with who pronounced his name correctly, and a lot of people pronounce it McElfresh. And he answers to that, and so do I these days. But so he that impressed him, and the fact that I had noticed Nassi Schneiderman on his resume and asked him about it, and then related it to the job we had coming up, he felt like that was why one of the reasons that he accepted my job offer and turned down others. So I kind of feel like Nassi Schneiderman had something to do with the fact that my name is McElfresh these days after 40 years with this guy. So anyway, I'm going to go on with the page. The sketch, as you'll notice, has a dark pattern paper here and white here, two different papers in the background. And I found this paper from Vicki Boutin, and it's already structured like that, and I love the little splotches. And I picked other Vicki Boutin papers, not all from the same collection. I couldn't tell you what collection they're from. At the moment, I just kind of grabbed for some things, including some scraps that are not labeled. And I mixed colors up a bit with my... I don't want it to be an overtly Halloween, or listen to me, Valentine's Day page. But I did take this title from a Simple Stories collection called Hard Eyes. And I will, of course, have hearts because I always have hearts. You know, I haven't picked out the hearts yet, so I'll have to do that. I'm going to pull my, the most colorful hearts I have are these Happy Days from Cocoa Vanilla, so I'll put those over there. Anyway, let's get this page put together. So I'm going to do, this yellow is not long enough. I had to cut it, but I think the joint won't show. I want it to be quite a bit longer than the pink sheet. That should work. So let me kind of get that down there, line that up, and these are, I had a 6x8 paper that I just cut 2 3-inch widths of that. Okay, let me now do this. Kind of get that lined up properly, and then I'm going to put this down. Well, I'm going to put this next, and I kind of just want to do, I know that the photo is going to go across here, so I'm going to figure out, I'll put some tape there, which will get covered up. And I'll get that on there straight, maybe. Maybe I'll get it straight, maybe I won't. Okay, and now I'm going to put this here, and I have, let's see, is that how much, where's my original here, the sketch here? It kind of goes over like so. And let me make sure I have that straight. I think that's straight. It looks like it may need to be tucked in there a little bit. Okay, and I lifted it because I wanted these, I wanted there to be shadows behind these torn notebook pieces. Okay, so then this goes here. And I might move it up just a little bit. Let me put this down. I think that's going to work. Now, let me get this title on. I used tiny alphas, and I took a piece of this thin foam tape, and I glued the letters to the sticky side, leaving the back side still with the backing. So I'm going to try to carefully take the backing off without taking the letters off. Now, I've done this before, like many years ago, before I was making videos or anything, and I've always done my alphas this way to raise them up and make those little tiny alphas more important and not disappear behind the flat on the page. And I'm not doing a very good job here. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to put it on the, I'll just kind of dry fit it here. And there. Okay. And that's actually going to be my title. You had me at Nassi Schneiderman. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this title on here. I'm going to bring it down here. And I have things I want to, I'm going to cut this just because I know that it's going to have a hard time getting down behind here. Actually, I should have left that on. In fact, I'm going to put it back. I'm going to put it back because I want to do this differently. Let me kind of, I'm holding it together like so, and then I'm just going to run the tape runner across the seam, and then I'll use it. I can use it like this. Okay, and I'm going to put some of this tape behind the colored pencils to raise them up. And I'm using the colored pencils as a kind of a reference to the writing programs. It's, you know, not any more complicated than that. And then I have this camera, which I'm thinking I may not use. I have these two flowers and that leaf sprig, and I was thinking of using this one kind of up here. Maybe this should go. I wonder if I can use this or if I even need it. If I had it like that, I don't need it, you know? I may do the flower here and a little bit of that sticking up. Let's kind of do that. Okay, and I keep moving that around. So basically, you see the finished page before I've actually glued things down. And I will be adding hearts probably right here. Oh, my metallic. I also have this, which I thought would be good right there. Kind of the light's shining on that, but it looks like just a paint streak. And I'll use that, and maybe that's where I'll put, well, no, I'll put a star. I have 3 metallic stars. This one is silver, and I'll put that silver one. Nah, I kind of want it maybe where? I think I'll just do 2 instead of 3, 1 silver and 1 gold. And I'm going to do this one down here or here. I'll maybe try, this is down, so, but I'm going to move the, let me show you what I'm going to do. I guess that's why you're here, is because you want me to show you what I'm going to do. And I will grab some things that help me do. I kind of curled the flower petals so that they would look more realistic, I guess. And I'm going to bring this down and kind of tuck it under. And then I'll do the leaf sprig here, but I'm going to cut some off the bottom. And I don't completely want to cover that film strip, but it's stuck to the film strip and it's going to be hard to get up, but I'm going to get it up because I'm determined to have the film strip still visible at the bottom. Kind of a picky little detail, but it's, so I want that, and I think that looks okay. All right, and then that gives me room to put this guy right there. And there's a little pop dot on the back of it, so it should stick. Now, I've got, I said I was gonna go and stick all these things down myself, but I kind of have to judge some placement after I've got them down. And I'm sure you recognize some color study stuff in here. And then we also have several other collections. I know the green is from okay, and then I can put that right there. Is from Bright and Bold, Bold and Bright. And think the gold is from there too. Pink maybe also. Not sure. Let's see. I've got that one there. Do I want to put this one anywhere here? It's got a curled, one of its little things is curled, and so I would kind of have to tuck it under something else. I don't like that, so I'll just leave it off. Don't use the camera. I'm gonna toss that because I'm not going to be able to use it. Okay, so where do I want my hearts? Let me get this down. I'm going to put some glue on the part that's going to be hidden. Oh, come on. All right. Oh my gosh, there's my little app. I found that on the floor a minute ago. It had stuck to my shirt. Let's see, what color hearts do I want to use? I kind of like the, I'm going to put them on the word love. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to put them on the V here. I'm going to take this one, which is kind of a reddish pinkish, that there, and then I'm going to take this turquoise. All right, so we've got that. I'm I'm happy with it. It's a crazy page, and I love it. I love all this bright, colorful stuff from Vicki, and I love that guy and all this stuff around, and I think he'd like the page. So happy Valentine's Day to you all. I hope you'll check out scraphappy.com, scraphappy.org. Definitely do scraphappy.org, not com, to check out LOAD. It's a membership group, but your membership, if you pay a membership, covers all of the LOAD competitions plus all of the lives and other awesome fun. And check out Scrap-A-Sketch. There's a Scrap-A-Sketch group on Facebook, and that's where you'll find the weekly sketches that come out every Friday. Scrapasketch.com allows you to subscribe to premium sketches that are released each month, and there's lots of inspiration on the Facebook group from the design team using those premium sketches. And she's also got an amazing array of printables that you can use on your pages. I'm getting ready to do one with some printables right after this. And she's got stencils. There are amazing stencils. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will arrange this on here and get it all glued down before I take the posting photos. Thanks a lot. Bye.